Hey everybody, thank you so much for clicking on my video to watch for today's video. I'll show you guys my matte foundation routine, my whole base, and what I do to prep. This has been holding up for me so well in the summertime. When I go to work, I love to do this routine because it gets me through the day. I was finding my skin was getting really oily by the end of the day or midday at work, so I wanted to switch up my routine a bit, see what would work to get me through the day without that happening, and I have found that this has been working out really well for me, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Maybe it'll help out you guys as well. So before we hop on into the video, please don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell beside the subscribe button, that way you guys get notified every time I upload a new video. Also be sure to like this video if you enjoy it, and if you'd like to know my routine, then please just keep watching. Got my coffee ready to go. What I've been finding that makes such a difference in my routine is using skincare right before. I do this every morning anyways, but it works best when I do it basically right before, like 5 minutes before I put on my foundation and everything. First thing I take is my Pixie Vitamin C Juice Cleanser. This one is so fun and easy to use because it has this little pump at the top, so it's not messy or anything like that. I have been loving these cute luxury cotton facial pads. They actually are so nice on my sensitive skin and they don't tug and pull like other cotton pads can do. They're just a lot more gentle. So I just go ahead and rub the cleanser all over my face. And then the next thing I take is my Pixie Vitamin C Tonic. This is a toner. I love their toners, and this one I recently got, so I've been using it in the morning time. So I'll just turn around the cotton pad and use the toner so I'm not wasting too many cotton pads. I absolutely love Pixie skincare. It makes my skin so clean, so refreshed, and their skincare is a lot more affordable than others. Speaking of others, this is the serum I use. It's very expensive. It's from Drunk Elephant. It is the C-Firma Day Serum, but oh my gosh, it's so good. This one is my morning serum. I just use 2 little pumps on my face. Honestly, this serum really helps lock my makeup into place. It works so well. Last but not least, I use a little bit of moisturizer. This one I have been loving. It's from Biotherm. It is their Aqua Glow Moisturizer. These ones are new. They came out with 3 different kinds. I really like the glow one for my skin. And in the morning time, I just use a little bit of moisturizer, because if I use too much moisturizer before my makeup, it can be too slimy and then my makeup actually won't stay into place. So I just use a little bit. When I want my makeup to stay in place, I always am a little bit extra with my base and my primer. So first I'm going to go in with the Prime Essence by Touch in Sol. I have actually been loving this primer ever since I tried it out in one of my recent videos. I was playing with some new makeup, and it actually really helps my foundation just lock into place. I just drip that over my lip. This primer is, ew. Oh my gosh. That went in my mouth. Wow. So it tastes like poison. And it's really, really runny. So you kind of have to work quickly with it, but I was distracted. So I do 2 pumps of it because I like my skin to be nice and hydrated, and especially when it's like a liquid primer like this, I like to drench my face in it. And I always run everything down my neck as well. Next, this primer works miracles. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Smoothing Primer. It really does smooth out all of your fine lines and pores. So I just put this in my T-zone. I put the most up on my forehead because that's where I have my fine lines. But I also like to make sure I get some on my cheeks right here. I do have dry skin, but recently, I want to say a few months or so, I actually can get oily around my cheeks and my forehead throughout the day, so I always make sure to put this primer in those places. I don't really mind the change my skin is making because I really love mattifying products and a matte finish, and with dry skin that really doesn't work out so well because you can see dry patches. So it's actually kind of been working out in my favor. Nothing has changed. This has been my favorite foundation for, I want to say, almost a year now. This is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This one is in the shade Light Beige. It's so mattifying and so smoothing. It makes your skin look like a doll. I tend to put a lot on. You really don't need as much as I put on. Oh my gosh, I'm already running out. I have to literally dump it on my face. Actually, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna put it on my brush. This is the Sigma Flat Kabuki, And I love putting this foundation on with a brush because it just gives you the most full coverage effect. I think I actually did put too much on this time, but it's okay, I'll blend it all out. After I put it on with a brush, I just like to go back in with a beauty sponge and smooth it all out just so there's no streaky lines or anything like that. Just want to make sure I have a smooth finish. Now time for some concealer. I have really been liking this one. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I got the shade Porcelain and it's way too light, so I mixed it with my Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer, and this one is also in the shade Porcelain, but it's not as light as this one is. So I just mixed the two. I really like this applicator. It's basically the same as the Too Faced Super Coverage Concealer applicator. As you can see, it's basically white, and this foundation is a little bit too light for me too, but after all my face products are on, it kind of evens out, so I look like a ghost until the rest of my makeup is finished. And I just add this one everywhere else. I use it on my eyelids so I can prime my eyes. And then this concealer is the one that goes in the center of my face. Concealer I blend out with my sponge. This one is from Real Techniques. I just find it easier, and then it doesn't look too cakey. If I want a really full coverage finish, then I'll use my brush to also blend out my concealer, but since the L'Oreal concealer is already so full coverage, I just use a sponge with it. And my sponge is also damp. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but just make sure it's damp because it's so much easier to blend out if it is. This is my favorite powder ever. It seriously locks everything into place, doesn't let it budge, but it still makes your skin look smooth. Oh, this is the Pretty Vulgar Matte About It Translucent Setting Powder. Loose powder, so I use it to bake. And I just take my Sigma 3D little sponge here. The edges make it really easy for me to get it underneath my eyes. And then I just pop the powder on everywhere I put the concealer. I've been basically putting powder all over my face recently to set it all. So when I go with it underneath my eyes, I drag it down into my smile lines and kind of on my cheeks as well. I can never ever forget to bake my eyelids because my eyelids are actually so oily. If I don't put concealer down and powder and bake them, then everything will slide everywhere. They need to be set into place. While that is sitting there baking, I like to do my contour. So this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is the original shade. I am picking it up on my Luxie 660 Precision Foundation brush. And I just like to put this into the hollows of my cheeks and a little bit on my nose to contour it very loosely and underneath my lip. Then I just go ahead and wipe off all of the powder that I have on my face. I also like pressing the excess onto the lower half of my face where I didn't put any powder, just to make sure that's also set. And the brush I always use just to wipe away my powder is my e.l.f. blush brush. I think it's the perfect little thing. So those are all the steps I do that actually makes my makeup set into place and last all day long without really getting that oily. I'm gonna use a setting spray after I finish off the rest of my face makeup, which also helps with that process. But I thought I would just include me doing my face makeup in this video anyway, since it's all about my base. I have been using this palette every single day. I am obsessed with it. It's the Physicians Formula times Casey Holmes Butter Collection. I just did a first impressions on this. The video should be up already, and I'm gonna take the bronzer in it. This is the Deep Butter Bronzer, and I use my Hoola brush from Benefit just to blend it all out. This bronzer is so smooth. It's also matte, so it keeps up with my matte look I'm going for. And this is what helps me look less like a ghost. I just rub it all down my neck, make sure the bronzer is everywhere, giving me some color. I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Papadone Peach Blush. I love this blush. I used to use it every single day, and then I stopped, and I'm back at using it every single day. And I like to use this with my Luxie 640. No idea what this brush is because the name smudged off, but it's the 640 something. This blush has a tiny bit of shimmer in it, but it's not that noticeable. It's nice because it gives my skin a little bit of a glow and takes away from some of the matte products. It's not too overbearing. And on a day-to-day basis in my routine, I don't really like a blinding highlight. I have been going for this one called Shine On in my Sigma Sculpt palette. I pick it up on my Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35. I just put a tiny bit onto my cheekbones just to give my skin a little bit of a highlight, but not too much. but I do really like it on the tip of my nose, so I kind of put a lot there and then on the bridge as well. The setting spray I have been using is the All Star Face Setting Spray from ColourPop. I have been loving this. So I spray it pretty far away because it will leave those little specks of water on your face and ruin your makeup. When I was trying out it for the first time in one of my recent videos, it didn't do that, but now it's starting to do that, so I guess I jinxed myself by saying that. Spray a fair amount on. Hope there's no specks on my face while I dry it off. Oh my gosh, no specks, yay. But I did spray it all over my palette. Okay guys, that is it for the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my foundation routine that I've been doing this summer, and I've just found that it's been working for me. It's getting me through the day without making me greasy, so that's a bonus. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!